Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Our next guest is with a skill-building software company that combines technology, thus the reason for having him on, and experts to help people learn in new ways. He's the CEO of Achieve Today, Josh Christopherson. Did I say your name properly, Josh?
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Appreciate you having me on.
It's our pleasure. Tell me a little bit about Achieve Today, and then let's get into some of the specifics that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So Achieve Today is an education software technology company. We focus on helping businesses learn what challenges their employees are dealing with. So imagine if you could have the ability to see how your employees were feeling, the struggles that they were up against, and then have a software to solve that for them. And that's what our business focuses on, and then helps employees through.
So you actually said you can see how the employees might be feeling. That almost sounds like Big Brother is watching, but I'm guessing this is the artificial intelligence or AI software that's doing this?
Yes, that's exactly right. So what we do is we have a tool that businesses can use that allows them to understand how their employees are feeling, what they're struggling with, the challenges that they face. But rather than see into it for each individual, what the software does is it's able to address those challenges that employees may be dealing with in their personal lives or in their lives at work, and address those, provide little videos, audios, clearings, we like to call them, help them clear out negative thought patterns, and then have high performance on the job, engagement, high performance, and a better overall quality of life. And we use our AI software to help determine that and then provide those solutions for the individual employee.
And I think that's really cool, Josh, because when you talk about personal life problems versus business life problems, they often overlap. Or many times I'm guessing people bring a personal life problem into the workplace, and that certainly affects their work and the rest of their life. So this now begins to sound to me like something that is going to help a lot of folks.
Oh, yeah, especially right now. I mean, with the pandemic that's going on, a lot of people working from home. Employees and individuals are struggling sometimes with those emotional feelings that they're having at home. They may be taking care of sick family members or juggling kids while they're doing meetings or whatever it may be where they're working from home. And so sometimes that brings a lot of anxiety or stress or frustration, things that the employer or managers don't know a lot about, or the employees are a little concerned about talking to their management about. And so we're able to address that, bring cultures together, and improve that quality of life for the individual. So yeah, absolutely. Even more so now with what's going on, home life, work life is merging more and more together. And so finding a way to solve that is really critical.
So how is it, Josh, that human input with AI, artificial intelligence, creates a more effective learning experience for somebody?
Well, so my business partners and I started in education probably about 20 years ago. And in the different pieces that we educated in, we found that a lot of the individual's success on the job or in their businesses, whatever it may be, really came down to their inner beliefs and their thought patterns and habits. And so when we started the company Achieve Today, the idea was to be able to solve that. Now, traditionally, that's done through online courses or getting a coach, getting someone that you can work with. Some of the best people out there have coaches. And we knew that that was really important. But what we needed to do was fill in those gaps. You could have managers at work or coaches you work with or people that help you to excel on the job or in life. But what about the in-between time? And that's where the AI really comes in and is most effective. The artificial intelligence is able to actually engage with the individual wherever they are. It can send you a text. We call her Q, and she will send you a text, check in with how you're doing, how you're feeling, if you're struggling with anything, and you can respond to it just like you would a person, and she will then serve up things that will help you in these individual challenges. It may be relationships at home, challenges with your marriage or parenting, or it could be high performance on the job, fears of public speaking, or things that might hold you back from excelling in the positions you're in. And so we will focus on those and then help the individual to improve in those areas And time again, we've seen that whether it's a network marketing business or a brick and mortar company with sales teams or real estate businesses, it really helps them to shift those core underlying habits with their employees and their individuals and really transform them to help them have more happiness, less anxiety, less frustration, because they have these things that connect. So the AI tied in with the human intelligence, I like to call it AI plus HI, together can really help to transform an individual from those foundational situations that they're in.
And you say you call her Q?
Yeah, we call her CUE, Q.
Oh, CUE. Okay, got it. And I guess there's a definitive thing. It's not like you're getting a text from some other coworker who's asking about your marriage, and you're going to think, well, that's no business of yours. Who's talking? Or is Q spilling the beans? Do you find that some employees are saying, I don't want Q to be involved in my personal life, or is it quite the contrary? Are you finding that folks are saying, you know what, it's really helping? I mean, even the AI end of things, it is helping.
Yeah. I think initially that's usually a thought that people have is, you mentioned the Big Brother thing, right? Where, well, I don't want the business to know about all these things. And all of it's really confidential, what the individual is sharing with the AI. And we've found, to answer that question, Dave, because it's an AI and they recognize that, they're much more open to sharing some of those challenges and struggles that they're having, whereas they may not bring it up with a manager for fear of being judged or overlooked in a promotion or whatever it may be. If I have a fear of public speaking or a lot of anxiety because there's a lot of stress on the job right now, I may not want to talk to you about that because you may not look at me as the next leader or some of these other challenges. And so when Q can address that and help provide training to help me move past those challenges and reprogram my thinking, then we're able to see true transformation. And these people are seeing, like I said, higher performance on the job, but also promotions and different things because we solved those problems. Now, from a company perspective, we don't show the business what each individual is feeling, but more an average of your departments. So you could have a sales department of a few hundred people or even 50 people, and the AI could come in and tell you, look, on an average, here's what your people are feeling. They're very stressed this week, or they're feeling anxious, or maybe they're very excited. Incentives are working really well. And so you're able to see into a side of your business that software hasn't been able to show us in the past. And so it's really exciting because businesses can then take that data, see courses that their employees are taking on average, what are the most popular courses, what are the most the largest challenges that your employees are dealing with, what audios are really helping them and moving the needle. And then we can take that data and serve up content based on what those employees need more often.
So the employees can feel confident that the AI, I'm just having trouble calling her she, as opposed to any other entity, I guess, that is not sharing their specific information with management or anyone else for that matter. You have it all set up so it's truly private.
Yep, absolutely. All of that is very secure, and we specifically set up a dashboard that the employers can see that is very generic. That way, the employees are more comfortable with it, and we've found with all the businesses that license the software, it moves the needle significantly in terms of employees who stick and stay. Turnover goes down, but also happiness. And high performance. So incomes go up as well because of it. So it's a lot of fun. But I think a big part of it, Dave, is the employees' comfort with it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how they're able to develop this comfort level with it, recognizing what it does and what it doesn't do, and then trust it to be able to help them move forward and fix these challenges. We've had employees and businesses report back marriages saved at home that they didn't even know they were struggling with.
So Q saved a marriage or two, right?
One in particular, a marriage that was saved. We've also had many instances of high performance and increased revenue from the businesses, and even on a very personal side, we've even had one or two lives that were saved. People that didn't even realize that their employees were dealing with anxiety or depression, and on the verge of more serious things. And we've had reports back where people came back thanking us because of some lives saved because of it. And so it's phenomenal how personal it can get, but how transformative it can be. It's really exciting.
Now, you mentioned AI with education as well, so I'm curious about how this data can be used for educated AI, if you will. I mean, are we talking about specific little mini courses that Q can offer, that particular employee? And are these things all done on company time, or is it, I'm going to text you a link and then when you get home tonight, do it at your leisure? I mean, how does that work? And for those listening on the radio, we also, of course, have video with Josh, and you'll see all the banks of monitors behind him and so forth. But can you show us a little example, perhaps, about how any of these things are? If you could do a screen share or something.
Yeah, certainly. So just to address those questions initially, as far as education, the employee or the user, the learner in this case, could choose when to reply or communicate with the AI at their leisure, like you said, whatever is more comfortable for them. Some employers may want them doing it on their own time. Others want them to engage with it when they need that help, and maybe spend 10 minutes or 20 minutes a day using the software. There is the delivery of that software on the back end, so an employee can communicate with AI. It's whatever is comfortable for them. But the back end of it, they can log in and they have access to a platform, which I can show you here momentarily. And essentially what that platform does is it allows them to get in and take part in small bite-sized courses and things that they can use. And so it may be courses that could only take 10 or 15 minutes, or it could be things that take a little bit longer, maybe a 5-minute meditation or a 20-minute meditation, or something to help someone have that comfort.
But it's not likely to take hours while someone is busy at work, hopefully doing their work. It's not going to distract them so dramatically, other than a few minutes to perhaps address a concern at that moment.
Right. These are very bite-sized. These are bite-sized courses. People don't tend to want to go in and spend hours taking a course or whatever the case may be. And so, they're very bite-sized courses on specific topics. And essentially what they'll be able to do is to go in there, spend a few minutes each day or even each week. Maybe it's only 10 minutes a week that they get in. The only reason that that's really motivational is because someone can get in and find content that interests them. A lot of businesses will offer learning platforms like this. We've just logged in here online so that you can see the initial dashboard. Are you able to see that, Dave?
Yep, absolutely. And again, keep in mind, those listening on the radio, have no fear. Visit intotomorrow.com and you'll be able to see the interview with Josh and see what he's talking about. But in the meantime, if you would kind of explain what it is that you're showing us.
Yeah. So essentially, this is the dashboard that an employee or an individual learner would see. And one thing that I was commenting on before is a lot of companies will provide learning management tools where they can deliver content. But the challenge is a lot of employees won't use it. It's almost like a gym membership where a business will get it for their employees because it helps them. They know they need to be more healthy, but a lot of times the employees might not use that gym membership. The key with this system is our AI will reach out to them no matter where they are. They could be on the job, they could be at home. It'll check in with them on occasion, and that's determined by the company that licenses the software. They can determine what level of outreach they want it to have, and it will engage with them. And then as the employee or the learner engages with it, it will learn them and find what ways that individual wants to learn. Is it a short audio, listening to it on the way to work in the morning? Is it a short 5-minute video clip? Is it like, for example, here on the dashboard, we're seeing a video spotlight breaking the loop of anxiety, maybe something. These are things that are shown to me based on my individual account.
And of course, now I'm seeing audio spotlight, so I'd like to see Into Tomorrow there, but I don't know that that's going to help too much except to solve any digital dilemmas that an employee might have. But I kind of get the idea that if there's some short little snippets, maybe even this interview, that would help people realize that there are various things they can hear or watch that can make a difference and hopefully perhaps change their attitude if they're not feeling all that well today.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different things that can help them. The AI will serve that up. And then if they want to go deeper, they can log in here to this software that you're looking at. This is more the back end side. There are live group coaching sessions that happen every single day on the topics of the week. So we release new courses every single week, tailored to the individual business that we're working with. There are mastermind sessions that occur on a monthly basis that people can join. You're able to journal your feelings as you go through the sessions. You'll notice there's over 300 courses that I have access to personally right now. Nice. And then a number of other tools that are through here. Roadmaps that allow a business to dictate specific learning courses or journeys that they want employees to have. Those are able to be followed up on by the AI as employees go through these different steps. In this case, in this instance of the platform, we've got the main roadmap, but we've also got one on nutrition and finance, because the data that we've gotten from these users says that some of the challenges that they're dealing with is nutrition and also their financial situation. So they want help with managing those things. We've also got mindfulness sections that help people with clearing beliefs out. They can access the database of courses. And like I said, there's hundreds of these in here that you could go in and take based on the community ratings. This one on conflict resolution, or the value of patience, or leadership, think creatively. A lot of different tools that can help the individual there. There are journaling, goal setting tools, gamification. They can receive achievements as they work through it. There's a social piece where people can go in and communicate. And again, all of this is tailored to the individual business and what they want. And then lastly, if you're not using Q through the texting tool, you can come in here and dive deeper with her. I can give you a sample of that.
Yeah, very quickly, because we're fast running out of time. But I also like, while you're setting that up, I also like the course of Say Yes More Often. And I'm sure that digs a little deeper, but into some rather unique things. But now you're showing us another thing, I guess, from Q, but everything from fun and social life to finances and family values and various issues. Kind of cool.
Yep. You let it know how you're feeling, as well as these 8 different categories in your life. And she will serve up.
Let's talk a little about how you're feeling right now.
I'm not sure if you can hear her talking.
I did hear Q. Hi, Q.
There she is. And she's asking why I'm feeling grateful, meeting with Dave. And then we're gonna submit that.
I have a few suggestions I think might be helpful. Let me show you.
And then she's going to go into the database and serve up some things that are specifically tailored for me based on the challenges that I'm dealing with right now, so that I can address those and move through those. So went through it fairly quickly. It's generally meant to just take a few, maybe 30 seconds, but I know we're trying to wrap things up. So it'll give you a little bit of a feel of how it works.
Well, then is Q likely to remind you in a few days, if you're not feeling so great, hey, remember the good conversation you had with Dave? Wasn't that fun? I mean, is that the sort of thing that Q may do?
Yes, absolutely. So as you interact with her, she's going to learn you and then engage with you. Again, she's going to serve up 3 audios, 3 videos, 3 goal suggestions. And as you take those, let's say you start a course, but you only have a couple minutes today, she's going to check in with you after a few days. We don't want her to harass you and really come after you. But after a few days, she's going to follow up with you and ask you, hey, Dave, you started this course the other day. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. There's only a few steps left. Or here's a little video on motivation. And she'll be able to take you through that process and keep you moving. And
real quick, is this something available for even small business, or is it really larger enterprises because of the content and perhaps the price involved in putting something like this together?
Actually, it's a pretty low barrier to entry for small businesses. In fact, that's where the company started was with a lot of small companies who maybe only had 25 to 50 employees. Now we absolutely have ones that have hundreds, if not thousands of employees. We even have a couple of public schools that have started to use it to help kids who are dealing with anxiety or depression or conflict resolution at school. We've been able to come in and help some public schools as well. And so, it's something where small businesses, large businesses, it's very much tailored to the individual that's working with it. We even have individuals, not even companies, where an individual will approach us and say, how do I use this just for me personally?
Wow.
And they can access that as well through our website or through awakenthegreatness.com.
Okay, terrific. Well, we invite folks to visit achievetoday.com. And I like how, even though you're very much dealing with artificial intelligence, on the website main page it says, we're good with people. And that's important to know. So do tell Q hello for me, that I enjoyed hearing her as well. Josh, you're a delight to chat with. I can see where we need to do some follow-up into tomorrow and learn a little bit more about Achieve Today and the kinds of things you guys are doing with AI to help employees and employers at the same time. So we do thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Dave. This has been fun. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. AchieveToday.com. And of course, we'll get you there when you hit us up at intotomorrow.com, where links to all of our guest sites are available for you, and show notes and everything. Sign up for our free once-a-week tech newsletter while you're there as well. Again, intotomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. We continue right here on the Advanced Media Network.